Okay, so today is part 2 of our shapes to forms shading. Today we're going to do, last week we did circle to sphere, square to cube, and triangle to triangular pyramid. And today we're going to do a triangle to a cylinder and a rectangle to, a triangle to a cone and a rectangle to a cylinder. So, obviously we know triangle, right, and rectangle. So those are the shapes. 3 sides, too short, too long for that. All right, so for the cone first, here's our triangle. All right, now instead of doing a straight line, we're going to do a curved line. And this is going to show that it has form, okay? And we're gonna do our light coming from over there again. So this is our light. So what we're gonna do is the darkest side is gonna be on the far side, but we don't want it to be absolutely its darkest on the edge. We wanna show that it keeps wrapping around and hitting the light again on the other side. So we're actually gonna go just like a space over, and this strip is gonna be our darkest strip, okay? And then kind of imagine the cone breaking into little sections like that. You don't actually have to draw these lines, but that's gonna be the direction we turn our pencil to shade along that line. So like this one, I'm going to do kind of a medium, all right? The one next to the dark, I'm gonna do medium dark. Then medium. And you don't want a hard line. So like I shouldn't see hard, medium, and then medium. You gotta kind of blend it. So go over that line so that you don't see a line. It just smoothly transitions from one to the next. Which is why I really don't need you to actually draw these lines, because I don't want you to see them. With this, I don't like that you can see that. So I'm actually gonna erase the line. And I'm actually not going to shade right here. I'm gonna leave it white, but I'm gonna add just a little bit of shading on the far side to again show that it's curving around, and again, there's gonna be a shadow. Okay, now I'm gonna kind of rub it, smooth it. It looks like I can see a hard line here. I don't want a hard line. So I'm gonna just add a little darker right here. So again, it's slowly transitioning. Okay, when you rub, sometimes it goes outside of the line. So I'm gonna take my eraser and just clean up that line. All right, and then when we add our shadow, the shadow is going to kind of go like that. And remember, the shadow is working from dark at the base, the darkest right where it touches. And then it gets lighter, and it should basically be in a diagonal form of the shape that it's in. So it should, if we were to actually see this go like more paper, it should come to a point. So there's my shadow for that. Okay, now my rectangle, instead of doing, we're gonna still do 2 long straight lines, right? But instead of doing a straight line and a straight line here, we're going to be doing curved lines. And the reason why is because when we look at it, think about a toilet paper holder. If you actually have one, you can do it. When we look at the toilet paper holder straight on, there's a circle. But when we turn it and view it from its side, that circle becomes more of like an oval because of perspective. So what we're gonna do is an oval at the top of this. Now, there's technically an oval at the bottom too, but unless it's a see-through tube, we don't see the back of the oval. We only see the one side. So like this is imaginary. We can't see it unless, again, if it was like a glass tube, you could. Okay, So it's gonna follow the same basic principle as this. The lightest is over here, the darkest is over here. But again, we don't want it to go all the way to the edge. So the darkest is gonna be a little in from the edge, and the light is gonna be a little in from the edge, and there'll just be some light shading right there. And then skip so that it's a white strip. Very light, very light, very light, very light. Getting a little darker, little darker, little darker. And I'm using the side of my pencil so that I get a soft line, not a hard line. And I have a very dull pencil on purpose. Dull pencils are better for shading than sharp pencils because they don't crease the paper or mark the paper. Okay, so now rub, 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 rub. And again, clean up that line. Clean up this line. Okay, now at the top, you're gonna shade it darkest along the back. And then as it comes forward, shade it lighter. And a lot of times there'll be like a little highlight right on the edge. So you can go back with your eraser and add the little highlight along the edge. And then the shadow, again, gonna come back like this. Curve, darkest along the bottom. And slowly gets lighter as it goes out.